Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I'm just getting my banner posted up in the chat room, so bear with me. That is the one thing I cannot remember to do. Okay, done. I want to let you know we're over in the chat room. You can find that by heading over to 12radio.com. Click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. That's a good way to do it. And also, of course, you can watch this versus listen to it if you would like to via the live stream. And you can find that by heading over to YouTube or Facebook and looking for Katie Weaver, Domestic Mystic. So lots of ways to connect. And I am, of course, keeping an eye on both chat rooms. Or all chat rooms. So wherever you're chatting, I should see your chat and be able to interface with you. So that's what's up. I have had a morning. So much going on. Oh gosh. Also learned this morning that a dear client has passed, and I just love her and her family and want to send so much love and sympathy their way. So, you guys, it's an interesting thing in this job. I end up, with clients that are clients for many years. And I love that and I honor that and I wouldn't trade any of that. But well, when you guys die, I'm heartbroken. you know. I know. It's a funny thing because almost all of us are virtual, right? We've spoken on the phone, maybe you've seen me do videos, we've chatted like this, but you mean a lot to me. I hope that you do know that. You mean a lot to me. And yeah, I I care about you, in every sense. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about the witches market. It was on Thursday, of course. So, of course, the last couple of weeks, last week especially, I was really busting myself. What do you say? You say busting your balls, but that just seems, ugh, I don't know. Give me a different phrase for that. Busting ass, maybe. Working hard. I mean, there's a more polite way to say it. But I was working hard to get a lot more projects out, and I did, and they turned out really good. But we had a great fair. It was really hot. We are just unseasonably hot, like record breaking hot right now, which, sucks. I hate it. And I'm ready for it to cool down, but it will. It's coming. But in the meantime, beyond that, we had a good, it was windy. It was weird because it was really hot, like in the 90s, but we had this very hot wind when we were first setting up. So it blew a couple of my displays over twice, blew the magnet display over twice, scattered magnets all over the road. It chipped a couple of them. So they now will be living on my fridge and I'll make new ones, but to sell, which is totally fine because I love them. But damn it, right? What the hell? Absolutely ridiculous. But it did settle down. But the last fair of the year is coming up on October 6th. And since it will be, the closest one to Halloween, Terry, the owner of Healing Hands, is asking us to, really do it up, have lights, have displays, have, dress in costume and like really do it up. So you can imagine how that has little Scott Weaver's gears turning because we all know how much he loves Halloween. Last night we were sitting at the table sketching out a diagram of how our booth is going to look and what we're going to do. And yeah, this is going to be very extra. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. So it's going to be exciting. I do have a few more things. All of my regular stuff will be there, but I have a few more things I want to roll out. I've been thinking about these little spell jars I want to make. And I bought the jars. I just need to write the spells and start coming up. So that's what I'm working on. Kev, I am so excited for fall and Halloween. So excited. We actually have started decorating. Yesterday, I drug a whole bunch of Halloween decorations out of our studio and put some of them out front. They're kind of in a pile. It's not good, but I'm hoping to fix that later today. And yeah, and a huge box on the kitchen table that I need to start sorting through. I'm ready. I am ready. I had actually deemed September 1st decoration day and didn't realize that was also the psychic fair. So, or the witches market. So there was no way. But it's happening this week. It's happening. And our first fall camping trip this weekend. Oh, it's the best. When the leaves start to change and it's cooler and sitting around a campfire actually seems, appealing. Yeah, this is where I'm at. I'm ready. And pumpkin spice everything. I know. Some of you hate pumpkin spice. Not me. I'm all about it all the time. Have you had pumpkin spice Oreos? They are the bomb. Not kidding. Scott and I had an all out argument in the middle of Walmart about this because I don't buy Oreos. Scott buys Oreos. He likes the double stuffed ones. He eats them in the middle of the night with milk. It's his thing. But they had pumpkin spice Oreos. And so, of course, I put them in the cart. And Scott was like, ew, no. And I went, ew, yeah. So we're having this little scuffle in Walmart about whether or not we're going to buy the Oreos. And I look up and there's a couple that's trying to come down the aisle and can't because we're standing there scuffling about pumpkin spice Oreos. So anyway, they were great. I think I won. I won. Anyway, that's where it's at for me. I will definitely take pictures of the booth, Dawn. I promise. Yeah. He wants to make a 12-foot tall witch with a 6-foot tall cauldron. I don't know. I don't know how he'll get it there. On a trailer, I guess. And he probably will do it because these are the things he does. So we'll see. It's going to get interesting. That's for sure. Oh, Maya's already putting up decorations too. Awesome. My older two kids live together. And apparently, Micah tried to tell Matea that she wasn't allowed to start decorating for Halloween yet, which is hilarious because, well, you don't tell Matea shit. I don't either. She does what she wants when she wants. That's her MO. I would never dream of telling her what she can or can't do. But Micah thought he could tell her she couldn't put up Halloween. As you can imagine, she's got a bunch of Halloween up because she's just like me. Yesterday, or more just like her dad, yesterday, apparently they spent half the day going to just every thrift store they could find in their areas to just come up with some Halloween ideas. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Yeah, no kidding, Sid. Hopefully it won't be a windy day with a 12-foot tall witch. Can't wait to see the photos. Well, we'll see. We will see. This is going to get interesting. Oh, Kev said I've got DIY Halloween projects from ideas I got from Pinterest. Pinterest is really good for that. When you see this stuff, it's really amazing. But then when you see how people make it, you go, oh, that's actually pretty simple. I could probably do that. TikTok too. Oh my God. People giving tutorials of how they make stuff. Last year we made these ghosts for the front yard. We're gonna make a few more. But you form like the form of a person, full sized, out of chicken wire. And that might seem impossible, but it's not. You do the bottom first, like we did ours like women and with a skirt, and then you start forming the torso. Scott made them. My hands aren't strong enough to do chicken wire, but and then your head, and you wire them together so that you have this whole figure. And then you put it in your yard, in a dark spot in your yard with a spotlight on it, so that it's just a whisper. It's a ghost. It's just a whisper. When you drive past it or walk past it, you kind of see it. They're scary and fascinating and cool. So I want to make more of those. Uh, yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking about. But I can't really make those. It's more cheering Scott on. because I can't do the chicken wire. But that's okay. I'm a good cheerleader, right? So that's my role. Anyway, really really want to do that. Thank you, Laurie. I appreciate you, babe. Uh anyway, we'll see. We'll do that. Oh, Don said I go to craft fairs and take pictures of projects that other people make, and then I create them for myself at home. Lots of people do that. Yep. I'm on both sides of it because since I am a crafter, I like to buy from other people and support them, but it's hard for me to do that when I know damn well I can make it myself. So I try to do some of both to balance that out that, I can let someone else do it for a change and pay them for their services. But agreed, you get a lot of really good ideas from seeing what other people are doing. People are brilliant. They're incredibly creative. I I am not as creative as most of the people I see. At least I don't think I am. God, I see amazing things. Absolutely amazing. I wanted to show you a picture of one of our dogs just because I know it will crack you up as much as it did me. So, one second while I pull it up. But I'm glad to hear you all are getting in the fall spirit too. We need it. We need it. Fall is the best. It is this time of like fun and regeneration and maybe not running quite so hard. I'm all about it. Okay, I'm going to post this picture, but then I will absolutely, hey, Pamela, I will have to explain it to you because you're going to think this is a picture of a mean dog, but it's not. So this is Little Blue. This is our Basset Corgi mix. I know she looks menacing and terrifying, but this is her smile. This is her greeting you. This is her grin. Is that not the most hilarious thing? She's not a mean dog. And when she does that face, she's not being mean. She's just giving you the hey, how's it going? I'm glad you're home. Is that not too much? Oh my gosh. It kills me. Mars wants me to send her more pictures of her dog, so this is what I sent. Just makes me laugh. She is wild. And of course, yes, she does have one blue eye and one brown eye. Uh yeah, she's just she's just a special girl like that. Anyway, I just have to laugh about that picture every time I see it. And actually, this was sent to us from our dog sitter last fall when she came to visit and she texted me a picture and said, "I think she's just being friendly, right?" Yep. She sure is. Crazy thing. Anyway, every time I see that picture, it makes me laugh. Well, let's see. Hey, Norella. Right? What looks menacing to some people. Oh, might be the blue eye. You think? Maybe so. That blue eye is why she's here. Well, and her sweet spirit. Uh, her mama, she was born in this house. So we had her mama and her daddy, and we had a whoops and ended up with puppies. Um, the week that my mom died, that her mama came into heat and I wasn't even present, emotionally, spiritually, and physically quite a bit of the time. And somehow those two dogs got together. Not my intention at all. So daddy's a corgi, mama was a basset. And then on Scott's birthday of that year, she had 10 puppies. 10. And I sold them, so that, I don't want to be in the business of selling dogs, but I really don't want to be in the business of giving away dogs because that's how you end up sending dogs into bad situations. So, at any rate, I sold 9 of them, but I could not part with her. She was just too special, too sweet. That blue eye was so special. So when people would call about her, I would say, "I'm sorry. We don't. She's already been homed." And then I told Scott, "I guess we're gonna have to keep this one. Nobody wants her." So we kept her anyway. And now she's 12. And you wouldn't know it, by the way. She runs and plays with the puppies. But That is our little blue. So I wanted to show you some candles. I don't know if I showed you guys these last week. I think I didn't, but if I did, I apologize. But they're on my desk and I wanted to show you. So I made a couple of jar spell candles, and no, mom and dad both had blue eyes. Apparently, that blue eye, brown eye trait is a trait in corgis. I've seen several other corgis with that. Yeah. And other dogs, of course, but as far as our dogs were concerned. All right, so these are spell jars. They're spell jar candles. It's so hard to give you a good look. There you go. And actually, I didn't. I should put a picture of these for you guys in the chat room too. If I showed you these last week, I apologize. But sweet white lies are the best, right, Pamela? I mean, I feel like that was what do you call a victimless crime, you know? I mean, who got hurt out of that really? No one. Nobody did, right? That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. uh yeah, I think victimless crime is a good that's a good way to describe it. But okay, I realized that I had pictures of the psychic fair to show you guys, or the witches market that I hadn't pulled up. So I'm pulling them up. My mom was kind of the queen of that. I mean, I wouldn't say she was a liar, per se, but she would definitely say what she needed to say. And I think, honestly, I hate to say this, but I think we do this with our significant others. Women do this with men, particularly, to definitely to manipulate, but hopefully just to, make life more peaceful or calm or sweet or whatever, right? Yeah. Do I have a love candle? I don't yet, but I'm working on one. I do. And as always, you guys, if you see something that you want, it's probably not on Etsy because I can't seem to get my shit together in that sense. So if you see something that you want, just come and tell me about it. And I will do my best to get it to you. I mean, I can sell you anything, it's no big deal. So if you see something that you want, definitely just tell me and we'll make a deal on that. But I'm going to get some pictures pulled up here to share and into the chat room too. Okay. But yeah, I think a love candle's a good idea. You know what did the best at the psychic fair? Well, no, maybe not the best, but that did the best initially, like the fastest, was those little car scent, the little car aromatherapy bottles. Those did really well. They sold like first and fast. And then I had people that came back over and over all night wanting them. And I didn't make enough by any stretch. But I only had 3 cents. And my niece had suggested a few more. My niece Mia has been amazing with the psychic fair because it's a lot of work. It's really more work than Scott and I can do on our own. It's definitely more work than I can do on my own. And Scott does all the heavy lifting and the big stuff that I just can't even do. But still, especially in the heat, it's too much. So Mia, the last two markets, has been willing to let me hire her to come and help us out, and it's been an absolute blessing. But she also took pictures of our booth and put it on her Instagram, and pretty soon her friends were showing up and, buying stuff and hanging out. It was so good. So, but anyway, she had some suggestions for some of the car scents that I'm going to work on as well, and get way more put together for the next fair because those did extremely well. But we're going to make one. If you remember, they were all AF. I had calm AF, happy AF, and grounded AF for those of us that aren't very grounded in the car. And she said we should make basic AF for and do a pumpkin spice scent. So I'm totally doing that. I thought that was hysterical. Anyway, let me show you a few pictures from the fair. So these are tumblers. Those are all tumblers I made. Most of them are my art, my AI art. Not all, but most. And I did put these pictures in the chat room too so that you guys can see them. These are some of my foil art. This was the display. We have fought this display. This is our third attempt to try to display these because the first couple of times we just brought them on little stands and in crates and they didn't sell at all. And so last time we tried mounting them kind of like we have them this time, except for that we tried to do it with paper clips and the wind blew and they blew all off twice and we gave up. So this time we did binder clips and it did better, but the wind blew and some of them blew off twice. I It's hard to win. So frustrating. But anyway, I think we finally streamlined our process so that they're staying on now. And here's some of Scott's 3D printed stuff. The 3D printed stuff does extremely well at the fair. It sells really, really well. It honestly is our top seller at the fair, regardless of what I make. It's the it's the 3D print stuff. People really love it. And in fact, these pictures were after later in the night where a lot of stuff had already sold. But and then some of my candles and earrings. Scott's done these cute little Groot earrings. They're all 3D printed in the resin printer. So he has dragon earrings and Groot earrings. And a little more foil art. And then these are these little lights that we made. They're engraved. I think I showed them to you guys already, but they're engraved acrylic. So I designed them and then Scott programmed them and engraved them on his CNC. They turned out really cute. We did sell two of them and have two left, but I think I'll order a few more for the next fair because they did well. They also helped light up our booth as it got a little bit darker. So that was a perk. And then my magnets that had to lay flat on the table, and everyone thought they were coasters because, the wind kept blowing them over. And my bottles, all these cute little bottles, I put these cute apothecary water slides on and put some decor on. And that's the candles. So I have my goddess blessing candles. I showed you guys those last week. Uh, some of my tiles in the background. You've seen those too. And then this Nightmare Before Christmas tumbler is my favorite. It is glow in the dark. And it did sell, but I'll have another one. But it those are so freaking cool, you guys. Oh my gosh, when they glow, everything that's white or lighter colored on the cup will shine through and glow. They are awesome, I have to say. All right. So all of that just so that I could show you my these candles in person and tell you about them. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let me take the picture off. Now I got this all messed up. Hold on. There we go. Where am I? What's my name? Okay. Hold on one second. And I really am going to tell you about these candles. Okay. All right. Okay. So these are spell jars. So this one smells like sandalwood. It has, for crystal therapy, it has a pink aura quartz. It has citrine, clear quartz, amethyst, and prehnite. And then for plant magic, it has roses, lavender, and calendula. And then the whole thing is sprinkled with sandalwood powder, which sandalwood powder, holy hell, that smells good. It's so delicious and wonderful. And then it has a little key in it too, just because, just for cuteness. But that's what they look like. And I put 2 wicks because I just thought it might need to, where it's it's kind of wide topped. But anyway, so the idea behind candle jars is that you just bless them with what you want. The intention of this jar that I blessed it with was for peace and joy. And then I did these little protection jars. And by the way, I'll tell you a secret about these jars. These are the creme brulee jars from Costco. If you ever buy creme brulee from Costco, they come in these cool little jars. And I couldn't stand throwing them away because, well, who does that, right? So I saved them, thinking at some point I'd have a use for them. And here we go. And then these little espresso cups. These two makes it seem like I buy all this stuff at like treat stuff at Costco all the time, which I don't. But when I did, these were tiramisu. Anyway, better than throwing them away, right? We don't have glass recycling where I live. So if I do glass stuff, I try to recycle it or upcycle it if I can. Anyway, this one is a protection spell. So it's very different. It has star anise, it has a cinnamon stick, it's sprinkled with nutmeg, it has some cloves in it, it has this little labradorite mushroom, and some garnet. And the point and a key, because again, they're cute, damn it. Scott thought they were weird. I thought they were cool. But the point of this one is protection. All of those spices in plant magic are really protective. So if you're feeling, especially I think if you live in a place where you're struggling with feeling safe or work in a place where you feel unsafe, this is a good candle spell for you. It is not, well, I mean, technically, Kev, it is because it's soy. That's what Scott said. I poured all of these and left them on the kitchen counter overnight to set up. And he said, "You're going to have to be clear what that is because I feel like I could take a spoon out and eat that." It does look edible. Aren't they cool though? I love them. So I sold a lot of them, but I still have a few. If you want any of those, let me know. I will send them to you. I posted them on Facebook last week. And by the time I woke up the next morning, I had sold half of them. And then I had to come up with some more. But anyway, it's fine. Right? It is a shame for that glass to go to waste. It's nice. Like they're heavy. They're nice. There's no reason to throw that away, right? I had thought I could use them for just little dog food jars or dishes too, but I didn't really need them because I have a billion of those. But anyway, okay. Kev needs two. I'll sit them aside. All righty. Lillian said she recognizes all those glass cups. Well, let's be real. The creme brulee from Costco is ridiculous. It is really good. And it comes with these little things of your own sugar that like the turbinado sugar that you sprinkle on them and then you broil them or I just use a little torch, and caramelize the sugar. My god. Ridiculous, I tell you. Okay. Well, let's keep moving. I want to share a couple of things out of Luminous, but it also is full moon day. So we are going to do full moon fairy tale tarot. All right, putting a money spell jar. That's a good idea. See, this is why you guys are the best because you give me really good ideas. So I wonder, yeah, money spell jar. So is a candle, do you think, Laurie, or do you think it's just as a spell jar? I'm going to do spell jars that are like a little kit. So you get your little jar, and then you'll get little baggies of different things to add to it, and then the spell, and then you put it together yourself, and it goes on your altar or your shelf that you keep it going for a while. A sleep spell jar. That's interesting. That could be done. That could definitely be done. A money candle jar. Yeah, that's a good idea, Laurie. Okay. All right. I'm making mental notes. Hopefully, hopefully they stay. We're all, we all have no faith in my memory, or at least I don't. But sleep, money, I like it. Peaceful rest. Yeah. All right. I'm going to share Luminous with you so we can talk about a couple of things. So the cover is an autumn altar. Do you love it? I love it. I designed a few, and this is the one I chose. I just thought this was so perfect. I want to go there right now. All right. I actually called this edition of Luminous Basic AF because, well, it's pumpkin spice time. And there it is. Write it down. Jessica, I will. Actually, it'll go on my whiteboard. As soon as I'm done here, I'll walk out and put it on my whiteboard so I don't forget. I have between my phone and a whiteboard in my kitchen, that has become most of my brain these days. Yep. Oh, that's a good idea, Helen. She did a spell jar with a circle of ladies. We added something that made us feel wealthy. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, that's a great idea. So maybe when you do spell jars, you should also give some suggestions of these are things you could add. Yeah. Well, if I was doing a spell jar, I'd put some money in it. But yeah, not a lot, a dollar. Or maybe one of those fake $1 million bills. Okay. All right. So for my musings, I just shared some art. I have been I discovered the other day how cool it is to tell AI to put stuff in bottles. I mean, I came up with some big losers. I only show you, ever share the winners. I should do like a whole series of bloopers too, because holy hell, some really hilarious things come up. But Christy's been working on some goddesses lately that have almost killed me. We're subscribed to the in the same way, so I get her notifications and she gets mine. Oh my gosh. Sometimes AI gets very drunk and confused. But here's a few things that I put in bottles that turned out really cool. So this is most of them were just supposed to be like a city underwater or like a mer city, and I thought they turned out pretty awesome. That is supposed to be a jar full of crystals, which I think it is. I liked it. And another underground city, kind of above ground and underground city. I think that one and this one. Anyway, just having a lot of fun with that. All right. Always new meditations at Planet Meditation. And then Kelly has scopes for us. She says, ew, emotions. Bitch scopes. Oh, no. I made a mistake there. I'll fix that, Kel. I promise. Bitch scopes for the week of September 5th and the Pisces full moon. Some of you guys had a hard time opening Luminous this morning. And then it was fine. But I had a hard time publishing Luminous this morning. I think the carrier Luminous or Lucid Press is having some drama. But anyway, it should be fixed now for most of you. Though I know somebody has been struggling to open it at all. So I don't know. Technology, man, can be so frustrating. But we have scopes from Kelly. I shared, because I'm basic AF this week, the magical properties of pumpkin spice in my tip of the week. So, the magical properties of cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, and ginger. So, I'll let you guys go through that. But now you know. That's why it's so special. A lot of magical stuff. All right. Christy brings us Archangel Michael for protection this week. The Magic Monday message from Melissa: I will manifest success. Heart happenings from Ginger. Again, I have to say, Ginger is such a freaking trooper. I can't even with her. She's so amazing. She still does not have internet and is writing articles for me on her phone and sending them over. Uh, she just she's that level of professional and dedicated, and I just really honor that and appreciate that. Also, still sending a lot of love to Kentucky, where they have been hammered so bad with floods and they're just really struggling to recover. You know, the True Crime Squad, we've always got more crime. You can check that out on your own. And the goddess Vesta from Anita and the Masters. I made a Vesta for her article. I thought she was pretty perfect. And then Jamie Dawn has a brand new article too. So that's everything in Luminous. And I'll let you guys check that out at your leisure. So, yeah, Helen Ginger is she's working hard, man, and she's worked really hard to help others recover as much as, she needed to recover herself. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do fairy tale tarot. So, as you probably know, we pull a card from Fairy Tale Tarot every month for the show that's around the full moon. So the full moon is in 4 days. And so I pulled us a card already. So the Fairy Tale Tarot is by Lisa Hunt. It's an older deck, but I think you can still find it on Amazon. It's a fun one. I love it. So I already pulled the card. So I'll tell you a little bit about the card and then we'll carry forward. It is a young girl and she's standing in front of a brick wall with the head of a horse above her. She's barefoot. She has a walking stick. There's like craggy, spirally vines climbing up the wall. There's a bunch of geese at her feet. She has long flowing blonde hair. That's most of the detail, I think, in the card. So the story, no big surprise, is the Goose Girl. The card is from the Major Arcana, and I was thinking it's been a while since we had a Major Arcana card. It is the Justice card. The culture is German. The keywords are justice, balance, and karma. Once upon a time, there was an aging queen who had a daughter with hair that shimmered like gold. The queen decided that her daughter would marry a prince from another kingdom. The queen gave her kerchief stained with 3 drops of her own blood. That's not creepy, that's a wedding gift. And told her, "With this, no harm shall come to you." The princess mounted a fine talking horse named Falada and waved goodbye, as you do. A maid who was to serve the princess during the journey followed her. After they had traveled for a while, the princess wished to have a drink from a stream. "Please fill this gold cup for me," she asked the maid kindly. "Tch, get it yourself," the maid snorted. The princess dismounted and laid down by the stream. As she drank, the 3 drops of blood on the kerchief spoke to her. What? I mean, 3 drops of blood on a handkerchief seemed like a suitable wedding gift, but now it talks too? I mean, come on, man. "If your mother only knew, her heart would break in two." That's what the blood said. They continued once again until the princess became thirsty. "Please fill this gold cup for me," she quietly asked the maid. The maid huffed. "If you want a drink, get it yourself." What is she thinking? Once again, the mortified princess lay down by the bank, but this time the handkerchief fell in the stream and sank. Well, that's going to be hard for the blood to talk from the bottom of a stream. The maid, knowing that the kerchief was the princess's only protection, forced her to switch places and relinquish her royal garments. The princess was sworn to secrecy in exchange for having her life spared. When they arrived at the kingdom, the prince greeted his future bride and swept her into the castle. When the false princess saw the old king looking at the real princess with kind eyes, she didn't hesitate to suggest that her maid be put to work. So she was assigned the task of assistant goose herder. Is that a job? Goose herder? Okay, if that's a job, I want that job. I was never told that was a job. Could there be good ducks? Ducks too? Okay. The false princess spoke to her betrothed and demanded that the horse have its head cut off for misbehaving during the journey. My God. Secretly, she wanted Falada killed because she was worried that he would reveal the truth. Well, yeah, as talking horses often do. Later, the real princess ran to the slaughterer and convinced him to mount the head of the horse above the town wall. And when the two herders went under the gate the next morning, the princess spoke sadly to the horse head. Oh, Falada, what has become of me? Not what has become of you, Falada, but what has become of me? The wise horse replied, Oh, if your mother only knew, her heart would break in two. Yeah, the horse gets it, Lillian. When they reached the meadow, the real princess sat down and began combing her hair. The sun made the strands glisten like gold. Conrad, the other goose herder, tried to grab the beautiful tresses. As he reached for the glorious mane, the princess cried out, Wind, blow Conrad's hat away. That evening, Conrad went to the king and complained about the goose girl's odd behavior. The king quietly listened and decided to follow them the next day. The king hid himself as he saw the goose girl speak to the horse head, combed her golden hair, and command the winds. That evening, the king summoned the goose girl. She remained steadfast and reticent, unable to reveal the truth. Why? 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 At long last, the king suggested that she disclose her troubles to the stove. Now we're talking to the stove? I mean, what what do they drink in this story? Or what are they smoking? The princess put her head inside and spoke of her sad fate. What? Okay. Next time you're sad, just put your head in the stove and tell it all about it. The king, having heard everything through the stovepipe, convenient, ordered that the goose girl be dressed in royal garments for a festival the next day. The false princess's self importance made her blind to the real princess, who quietly sat by the prince's other side. When the king asked the false princess what punishment would be fit for someone who betrayed her, the false princess haughtily replied, Death. The king replied, Then that is what is to happen to you. The real princess was redeemed, married the prince, and lived happily ever after. What I want to know is, did the false princess's head get mounted next to the talking horse's head so that they could yell at each other all day? I just wanted to know, asking for a friend. Who is me? I'm the friend. What the hell is this story? Okay. Symbols and meaning. Geese are symbols of innocence and vigilance. Really? Have you ever been bit by a goose? There is nothing innocent about geese. I refuse. Their white feathers signify the wild and untamed spirit. The horse's head represents judgment and reason. Okay. Uh, it serves as the goose girl's conscience as she passes the threshold into wild pastures of unconscious matter. The stone wall divides helplessness and innocence from liberation and empowerment. She is becoming autonomous and no longer relies on her mother's protection. The stability of the stones contrasts. I've lost my place. The stability of the stones contrasts the erratically growing vines. The white staff stands for truth and balance. The goose girl subconsciously points the staff in the direction away from the confining wall. Her golden hair embodies virtue, and winds sweep through it, indicating a higher power is at work and karma will bring about justice. I mean, okay. There may come a time when we face an injustice. We need to learn to trust our instincts and proceed in a rational manner. That's the actual message for us from this story. We need to learn to trust our instincts. Karmic forces are at work and the truth will surface in time, but we must remain perceptive to the possible messages that may reveal themselves either through conscious experiments or unconscious dream time. Okay, well, there you go. So, how does this apply to us for the next 2 weeks? Well, we don't freaking know. Uh, well, it's about injustice. It's about standing up for yourself. It's about telling the truth when it's hard to do so. I feel like it will be about making decisions to potentially help yourself over helping someone else. And maybe that's not always the right decision, but I feel like in this next 2 week cycle, you have to stand up for you. If you don't, nobody's going to. So it has to be you. And if you need to have a good chat with the stove first, hey, who's judging? Yep. So Laurie said in the original story that she read as a child, they stripped the girl naked as punishment and dragged her through the streets till she died. Good Lord. Whew. Yikes. Sid said, thank God the king was a good guy and smart. They forgot to list narcissism as one of the highlights of this really bizarre tale, right? Yes, geese are mean, Lillian. They are mean. Well, that is one of the weirder stories we have read, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Okay. Well, there you go. So, after all that, the message this week is stand up for yourself. Mhm. It probably is the weirdest one yet, isn't it? Hey, Tara, I know you've been so busy. Looks like your fairs have gone really well. So, yay, and good for you. So, I want to jump right into our bibliomancy because I'm tired of pushing it so close to the end. So, we're going to start right here. This is Kathleen Peterson's book. So, we are using this book this whole year to draw a message from her. So, I'm just going to flip through and ask, what do we need to know this week? And we'll read the stuff that comes up. Archangel Raphael. All right. So, this is a channeled message from Kathleen from Archangel Raphael. Greetings. I bring you love and healing through every part of your life. I come to you today to talk about the healer within. You are all God made manifest, and therefore you are capable of great things, including healing. Know that when you call on me to help with healing, I will come. But in essence, I am helping to facilitate your healing from within. I will come when called to help with healing for yourself or anyone you want to help. I am one of the better known angels, and this is because I work closely with Archangel Michael. Call on me to help you with any type of healing work. Know, however, that when you call on me to heal someone other than yourself, I can go to that person but I cannot interfere in their process unless I am asked by them. I will, however, bring my energy of care and comfort to help. When you call on me to help you, I can actually assist in your healing. Trust that your request is being answered whenever you ask. It is important for you to know that I will come at any time. I can assist in releasing old lower energies to help you open up to a deeper communication with spirit. I am also compelled to tell you that as an archangel, I am a messenger from God, but you do not have to communicate with spirit through me. You can have a direct communication with spirit. Look to the divine within you to open the connection with the universal divine wisdom and love. Continue to call on all of us from spirit, but never forget your own immediate connection with spirit. Your connection is real and you are heard. Take the time to listen as spirit does respond. As you go about your busy day, take the time to give gratitude to the divine. This will help with healing more than anything I can do. Keep your avenues of communication open and let your hearts fill with the love as it flows to and through you. I thank you for reading this message and send you waves of bright emerald green light to surround, fill, and bring you healing. There you go. So thank you, Kathleen and Raphael, for that. Love doing those channeled messages from her. Oh, I love it, Liliane. Such a good way to honor her. Kathleen did such amazing work. It's not right to just let her legacy, just peter out. We're not doing it. Yeah. Okay. Just jumping back into the chat rooms. It looks like it was Rebecca's birthday. So she was hoping for a little birthday reading. So let me get there. Yeah, her birthday was last Monday. So happy birthday. Let's pull you a few cards. We're not going to have time for very many readings, but we'll cram a couple of things in here. All right. So I'm going to pull some cards out of the Psychic Tarot deck for you. Just asking, what do we need to know for this whole trip around the sun? I also have the funniest story for you guys about my grand dogs. I'll tell you after this. Occasionally something really gets me, and this one really got me. Okay. Focus. Focus right now. Okay. All right, Rebecca. So I'm going to pull you three cards. All right. The first card is the wisdom card. So that's the next few months. I feel like there's two parts to that. One is relying on your inner wisdom, giving yourself credit for all of the wisdom that you've gained, all of the life experiences that you have had, the good, bad, and the ugly, right? That have led you to where you are right now. Interestingly, when I wrote the daily dish this morning, this is one of the cards that came up. So, thinking about wisdom and how it pertains to you and the wise woman that is in you. I think that you're kind of at this point in your life where you're wiser than you give yourself credit for. And it's important to think about who you are as a person, the wisdom you have to offer others and yourself. All right. 6 months or so, the card is moving on. This could be a change of job. It could be a change of where you're living. I suspect it could be both, actually. Both come up for me. Maybe not a major change or move, but some shift right here coming. But that's exciting. I feel like you always land on your feet. So no fear in that, of course. And then a little further in the year is the accelerated motion card, meaning things are happening quickly. But I look at that woman looking up at those stars, and I think for you, that really speaks to me of Something good coming for you that you've been waiting for. I feel like this could be a relationship and a real settling of where you're living and what you're up to. I feel like this birth year for you or birthday year for you is really positive. We didn't get any negative cards that came up. I mean, some people see that moving on card as negative, but it's not, especially for you because you do like to shake things up and change them. And I feel like that'll be part of what goes on for you this year, but it's good. All right. So, oh, Liz, you're so welcome. All right. So let me tell you a quick funny story about my grand dogs. So Micah and Matea each have a dog. Buddha, Matea's dog's name is Buddha. He's a little brown Shih Tzu, darling little boy. And then Micah's dog's name is Layla. She's a little black and tan Chihuahua Shih Tzu mix. And she is full of spunk. She's hilarious. She's absolutely precious. But they're very different. But they spend, all their time together because, they live together. And especially when Micah and Matt are gone to work, the dogs are best pals. Well, yesterday, Matt was out doing some yard work in the backyard, and this neighbor peeked her head over the fence that she's never met before. And she was talking to the dogs, and the stuff she was calling them, Matea didn't recognize. So she walked over to chat with her, and she said, "Sometimes when I'm out doing yard work, your dogs bark at me through the fence, and so I like to give them a milk bone. But my husband said I'm not allowed to give them any more treats without your permission." And she said, "They're just the milk bone brand." And they straightened it out. Matt said, "Yeah, that's okay. They can have a treat." And she said, "Okay, good. Well, I didn't know their names, so I just named them myself." And so she named Matea's dog Buddha Peanut because he's brown like a peanut. She named Micah's dog Booger. Booger. I don't know why. But she said, "I really have to watch because sometimes when I give him treats, Peanut steals or Booger steals Peanut's treat and runs away with it." Which sounds just like these dogs, but Booger? Anyway, Micah was not flattered. He's not impressed. And we can't quit laughing about it and, renaming Layla Booger. So their roommate thought it was so funny that now all he will call Layla is Booger. And poor little Layla is now Booger forever. But Jay said this lady was so nice and so sweet and was just loves their dogs like she does and was being kind. But she said, "I could hardly get out of that conversation without just busting up." She said, "I had to go in the house and laugh for a while because it was so damn funny." So poor Layla, she will now and forever be known as Booger. And why is she known as Booger? I don't know because Buddha is Peanut because he's brown, but is she Booger because she steals the treats and runs with them? That might be true. That might be true. Once, while Booger's dad was asleep on the couch, she drug his shoes outside into the sprinkler. So, she might come by it rightfully. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's it, you guys. That is the show. Thank you so much for being here with me. Don't forget, I am a professional psychic advisor over at one2listen.com. I would love to connect with you over there. And that's number two listen.com. That's where I do daily readings and healings and mediumship, animal communication, lots of good stuff. Thanks, you guys, so much. Take care. Please do good things for yourselves. You sure do deserve it. This has been the Katie Weaver Show here on 1 2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.